customizing formula options in Excel. To do this, you go to File on the menu and down to Options and click on the Formulas category. There are many options for modifying how formulas calculate, how they perform, how error handling is handled, all done under this Formulas area. But I'll give you one example. When you're back in a spreadsheet and you start typing a formula, equal, and then I'll start typing a formula name with an S, you get this type ahead autocomplete capability that shows you what your options are for functions that start with the letter S. If you find that irritating and you don't like it, then you could go in to File Options under Formulas and uncheck the box that says Formula Autocomplete. Click OK. And now, when you try to use that feature, notice no type ahead. Okay, so that's one prime example of a feature that you can turn off or modify under the Formulas category. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back on because that's a nice feature. The next feature we're going to focus on within our Excel Options dialog box relates to proofing. The big part of proofing is spell check and autocorrect. Microsoft tries to build in capabilities to auto-detect problems as they happen rather than you waiting until it's too late to find them. And so it flags misspellings at the time that they're made, that kind of thing. If you don't want some of that happening, you can change those default behaviors under this proofing category.
Autocorrect is everyone's favorite and everyone's enemy because we all type something in, hit the space bar, and find it changes to something else. So it's probably a little bit more friendly than on a cell phone, but regardless, we have some options in here for Excel. What I would like to point out to you is in the autocorrect options, first off, whether or not you want two initial capitals to be fixed. Do you want to capitalize the first letter of the sentence? What about the names of days? So if you type in Monday, will it capitalize it for you? What about the accidental use of the caps lock key? So if you start typing like this, in complete opposite with what it's supposed to look like, meaning capital C, lowercase APS, then as soon as it sees that and you hit space, it actually hits the caps lock key for you. And whether or not it's going to work as you type. So based on that, notice here, if you're ever wondering why, if you do open paren, the letter C, and close paren, as soon as you hit a space bar, it does turn to a copyright symbol, it's because it's in here. So if for some reason you don't want that to happen, maybe this is what you actually need, then you can come into autocorrect, select this line, and then click on delete to get rid of the entry. What you can also do is here, type in something that is common for you to mistype, and here, type in the correct spelling, so it'll correct it for you. You're basically adding in all of the options. Now notice here, we also can do some auto formatting as we type. We can put in some automatic actions, even some autocorrects for math. We will see some exceptions here. Maybe you have a couple items that you type quite a bit with it. There really is two initial capitals, and you want to make sure they're an exception. You can certainly add them.
The next category under our Excel options that we want to discuss is the Save category. Everything in this area relates to default behaviors for saving your workbooks. One biggie that I want to point out here is this right here, auto recovery. With this checked and a number of minutes specified, what this will do in this case is every 5 minutes it will create a little in-memory backup of my spreadsheet so that if I have a power loss or if I somehow have a computer failure, the next time I go into Excel, it will try to recover all the work I had done since the last 5 minutes. So in other words, every 5 minutes it does a new copy. You could change that to a less frequent interval or a more frequent interval. But this is very nice because then you have a better chance of not losing anything.